second to last episode of season 2 of the Apothecary Diaries, episode 23. Jinshi arrived, he met Mao Mao, and now let's see what's going to happen in this episode. Let's watch it together. Yeah, that's Li Hyaku. Yeah. Who's attacking? Again? I hope Jinshi will not... Okay. This is true. No, he is true. Yeah. I would believe him. Shisho, right? Don't even try. Yeah. No, don't even try. No way. In fact, Shisho, what are you doing? So he's gonna heal himself. Yeah, he's gonna attempt. Yeah. Oh. Oh. She was very beautiful, but what happened to her? Why she became such a... And she was the last one he had in his mind. No way. Yeah. Let's see how she's gonna talk to him now. I can't see anything. Oh, there was a secret passage. Wow, Jinshi. Maybe he's curious to see what's going on now. No way. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, but that was always her. When she changed into a male cloth and everything. But he is actually. Wow. That's true. That's a she show when he was younger. She was already evil at that time, Oh, not begging at all. Okay, tell him. Ugh. No way. Oh, that's why she came back. I mean, she was sent away. Unbelievable. He was really in love with her, but she didn't care. But she didn't go with him. So what happened? Ah, He didn't have any other choice at this point. You didn't want, so. Oh, yeah. But if she has that air stick, I mean. Can you do that for me? In fact, yeah. Oh, so the real Shisui was a Suirei, actually. He never gave up on her. Look at what you have done at the end of the day. Of course. He had no idea because he didn't care, principally, but then he was too ignorant too. In fact. You didn't understand anything. Yeah. So he took the guilt of everything. Yeah, she followed your orders. Jinshi protected her. I think Jinshi protected her. No. Oh. Okay. So it's like as if she shot herself. Hashem. What a miserable life. Okay. For Mama, probably. No. Ah, okay. Maybe it's regarding that medicine. Ah, no, okay. Okay. John number two. Um, and now what? And now what does she want to do? To end her life too? And in fact, now they will kill her. She will never be able to meet Mama again. Oh wow. Because of course she scratched even Jinshi's face, and that's a crime, of course. No, because anyway it was her wish, so. Poor sweetie. Oh. Yeah, she's going. sorry, but he can't. Oh, no, they died. Because she couldn't protect them. Exactly. Is she sick? I this episode was intense too. I have to say that in this story, the more we go on, the more we go deep inside the characters' feelings. And I think that Lolan's life, Suire's life, Shemme's life, but even Shisho's life, all these lives were so miserable. At the end of the day, no matter the plan to boycott um, these empire and everything, all these characters kept suffering a lot for different reasons. And I think in this episode, what was good was the fact that the author could explain these sadness, the sorrow that all these characters have felt throughout their lives, and their miserable ending. Anyway, okay, Suire survived from what we understood because anyway she descends from the late emperor, but I think that what she will feel later is still all the memories of everything she has lived so far, and the fact that she couldn't rescue Lola for the last time. Of course, Mao Mao will not be able to meet Lolan again. And I think that what Lolan explained throughout this episode made Shemme understand how, yeah, insignificant her life was. Can you imagine when you really believe into something for all of your life because you're sure of what you believe, and suddenly someone comes and tells you that everything you have always believed was fake, that everything that you have believed so far, it doesn't exist. Shemme believed for real that the request to become a high concubine at that time, high level concubine, was a request, was a beg that the late emperor made in order to have her, while at the end of the day she was just a hostage. And this is hilarious because more or less to Mao Mao happened the same thing. I mean, she was kidnapped and she found herself in the rare palace, even if she's not a high level concubine. But anyway, she found herself in that place. But Mao Mao knew what happened. Shemme was simply tricked from the beginning. The reputation, the pride, all these kind of things that couldn't fade away compared to the love of these men, Shisho, who has always loved her and who had always made lots of sacrifices in his life to gain her back, to have her back, to marry her and to be happy with her, while Shemme was completely blind, thinking that that place required her presence. And that was unbelievable. Yeah, in that case, you understand when a reputation can step on dignity and true feelings. That's, of course, something that I can't understand. Or let's say, I'm trying to imagine how it feels, but I will never understand that behavior. Of course, Lolan and Suire, two other victims of everything. Yeah, Shisho, we understood his important role in all these dynamics, and everything was done because of the acceptance made by the late emperor. So all these problems came from these men who couldn't take responsibility of anything. He was always subjected to do other things because these other people were suggesting him to do so. I mean, he didn't have a pulse. He didn't have enough guts to make a decision and to impose himself from the beginning, no matter what happened with these young girls and his tendencies. But even personally speaking, he was so fragile and so timid that he couldn't even make a choice properly. And Shisho was part of all these. I mean, he wanted to have Shemme back, and in order to have Shemme back, he was ready to do everything. And the real victims are the two girls. I mean, Lolan had to create a character of her own life, while Suire was tortured and being mocked and whatever, even if she has never chosen a destiny like that. So yeah, these sadness that came out from this episode was very soft, but at the same time very hard to handle. I mean, sometimes it was even like a punch in the stomach, because you understand that when powerful people chose everything for you and you're just the victim who have to play the role that was already decided to play, that's horrifying, and at the same time is miserable. Yeah. On the other hand, Lolan understood from the beginning how she wanted to end her life, and I understand that, because even if she started from zero, she would have never found peace in her heart, because she would have never forgotten everything she has lived, or let's say everything she has never lived, because she was always impersonating someone who she was not for real. And it's very hard to start something new from the beginning when you're always used to do some other things. I told you these already in the previous episode. So the fact that she wanted to dance for the last time in order to feel free for a few seconds, to get everything that she has lost for those few seconds of freedom before dying, that was pretty precious, and she was happy for that. That was enough for her, and I understand. Now I wanted to see how Suire will survive and what Jinshi wants to do to regenerate, to create something from zero, to make the Rare Palace different, because everything that was created with the previous empire was simply disgusting, of course. A palace where you think you're doing something, but at the end of the day, the purpose of that creation was something else. So this dream to reach the Rare Palace for everybody that then turns into something else. I hope Jinshi can change it drastically, because things need to change in order to be better. And at the same time, when he met Mao Mao, he saw something here. I hope Mao Mao is not sick right now, because she's trying to sleep next to these dead children, and I don't know if those hematomes, they are made because of the fact that she was molested. I mean, she was threatened by Shenmei, or is she developing an illness? I really hope not. And I hope Jinshi will find a way to cure her. In the case. At the end of the episode, we saw another man finding something. Oh, sorry. There's an earthquake going on right now, so if the camera is shaking a little bit, that's the reason why. But anyway, I don't understand that man that we saw at the end, the last few seconds of the episode. I don't get it. I don't understand what did he find in the middle of these plants. So let's see how this season will finish tomorrow. But for sure, I appreciated that Jinshi wanted to step away from his role for a second and admit Lolan to be free for those few seconds in which she could release all the things she has lived throughout that time. Even if she scratched his face, she tried to scratch the brother of the emperor's face, and of course this is a huge crime and she has to be punished. But I appreciated the humanity that Jinshi exposed in this episode, because he wanted to listen, he wanted to understand. He let Lolan do whatever she wanted to do just to avenge the mother's wish to be important for a second. There was a gift that Lolan wanted to give her to her mother at last, and Jinshi respected that. So I would like to see Jinshi as the new emperor and no more his old brother, because his old brother permitted anyway to continue this structure of the Rare Palace and the meaning of the Rare Palace itself. No, we needed to change things. I hope that Jinshi will become the new emperor, sincerely. He can change things for good, and I hope that Mao Mao will be good enough to stay next to him as much as possible. Stay tuned and keep on watching me. Thank you so much for the support, and see you tomorrow with the last episode of season 2 of the Apothecary Diaries, waiting for season 3 coming. And from next week we start a new adventure. We start Monster. So be sure to watch me. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.